We're gonna take that ball between the thighs now. Legs are in parallel, tucking toes under, and you're gonna sit it back into your child's pose. Arms reach long in front of you, start to tuck through the chin, rolling forward into your modified plank. From there, hugging the belly button up and in, you're gonna hover through the knees. Okay, you're gonna bend the knees to one side as you crouch back slightly, and then center. Let's stay on that side. Okay, we crouch and center. And crouch and center. Amazing. Okay, I want you to feel the belly button hugging up and in as you send your body forward in space, like this deep wrap around the abdominals and that big twist as you send the knees to the side as you crouch back. Just one more. We're gonna hold it back there, and you're gonna drop through the knees. You can untuck the toes, sitting all the way back into this twisted child's pose. Start to round through, nodding through the chin, rolling forward into your modified twisted plank now. Then you're gonna dip the hip down, lift up, sit it all the way back. Okay, we round through, round, 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 massaging, lengthen, and then dip the hip and lift. Remembering to keep the breath going. I'm inhaling to dip, exhaling to lift, inhaling to return. Exhale as you massage through your center. Amazing. And back. Last one here. We're just gonna hold it at the top, and you're gonna dip the hip and lift, okay? You dip the hip and lift. Every time you lift, I want you to think like you've got a wide belt on the lower abs, and it's cinching a few notches with every lift, releasing a little bit as you lower, okay? It cinches. Big twist here. You're coming deeper into the twist as you drop the hip. Last one. Dip and lift. And then you're gonna bring that hip down, walk all the way down onto that side, okay? Bringing the ball in front of you slightly. Bottom leg extends, top knee goes on the ball, and you can lay yourself all the way down. Maybe give that bottom arm a nice reach out, finding length out in both directions. We're in between two panes of glass here, and you've got a little lift through the bottom side hip, rolling the top shoulder back. You're just going to start to slide that top knee forward and then pull it back. If it feels better to support the head here, you can do that as well. I'm gonna keep mine up so you can hear me on the mic. Inhaling forward, expanding, pulling back to stack the hips. So you're finding a slight opening in this top hip. You can even use the top hand to kind of help you there. And then obliques pull you back center. So you inhale, expand. Exhale, pull. Again, finding this nice big twist as you send the leg forward, and then coming back to that stacked shape as you glide back. Two more like this for me. Last one. Holding that stacked shape, you're gonna lift through the ankle, internally rotating the hip, and then tap it back down, okay? You internally rotate and tap, still staying long at both sides of the waist. So it's not creating a crunch here up into the waist. You're staying nice and stable. It's purely isolated into the hip. Now it might feel a little bit awkward because we don't internally rotate the hips a lot in our day-to-day lives, but we do need it to keep them nice and mobile. So keeping the front ribs in for me. Give me 4 more. Maybe you see if you can hover through that top hand. 3 and 2 Bringing it back to parallel, keeping it level. We're gonna reach up, find a little side bend, reach, bottom leg lifts, and lower back down. You can always take the arm all the way over, find that oppositional reach, and then lift. And down, keep the head back in space, in line with the body for me. Finding that side bend, top side of the waist starts to contract. Again, treating this spine mobility as an opportunity to create some massage through the abdomen. Inhale, lower. Exhale, belt cinches, and some connection with the deep abdominals. To create this hugging sensation in on the organs, on the intestines. Last two for me. Amazing. Last one. Lift and lower it down. Amazing. You're just going to find your twist, big twist here for me, opening up through the chest. Releasing. And then we'll come back to your side and we'll pull it up back to center. So you're going to meet me with the ball back between the knees. I'm going to flip so you can see me, but you can always stay where you are. Sitting the bum back in space, tucking toes under. We're gonna roll, start to nod through the chin, roll it forward for me. Modified plank, shoulders roll down and back, and then pick up through the low abs, knees lift. Okay, we're gonna twist to the opposite side now. So whichever hip you weren't lying on before, that's the hip that I want you to be sending towards the mat. Other hip is lifting. Okay, just try to remember which side you're on. And if you don't, just feel it out. Whichever hip is going towards the mat is the one that we're gonna sit on. Reaching it back, feeling that twist through the core, feeling the length and the lift up and in as you send it forward. Sending back, gentle pull in on the ball. Last one. And dropping the knees. We're going to untuck the toes, sit back into that twisted child's pose now. We start to nod through the chin, rolling forward, holding there, and then you dip the hip and lift, and then sit it back. Okay, we roll forward, and then you find the length at the top. Dip through the hip, lift, send it back. So I'm exhaling as I roll forward, inhaling to dip, exhaling to lift, inhaling on the return. Okay, we exhale, roll, massaging through the center. Inhale, dip, deepen that twist. Exhale, core engages. Inhale, sit it back. Okay, you find the breath pattern that works for you. The most important part here is that you continue to fill the body with air. We're not holding the breath, not holding on to any tension. We need to release that to tap into the hips, tap into the gut. And that's why it's also such a beautiful emotional release sometimes in these classes. So if that ever comes up for you, know it's totally normal. Forward, we're gonna hold on this one. You dip and lift. Okay, we've got that wide belt on the lower abs. It cinches a few notches every time you lift. Amazing. And lift. Nice and long at the back of the neck. Give me 3 more. And 2. Last one. Amazing. Then drop fully onto that hip, walking it down into your side lying, grabbing onto the ball. You're going to take it in front of you under your top knee, and then you're going to bring your body into one long line except for the top knee. Okay, you can even reach out through that bottom arm if it feels okay for you. We're bringing the head back in space and we're lengthening out through the top hips. You find a little lift in the bottom side waist. Start to send that top knee forward and then pull it back. Okay, If you need to lift up here through the neck, you can. Maybe you bend the arm, giving the neck a little bit more support while staying in neutral still. Inhale. Exhale. You find what works for you today. Okay, we're finding that expansion through the hip as we slide forward and that core engagement as we slide back to stack the hips. You can add that push of the arm if it feels okay. Okay, just encouraging the twist and the hip opener. It's not a massive hip opener or anything, but we are opening, mobilizing through the hip. All right, keep going there. Pulling it back. Same sensation, that wide belt is on. It expands as you open, slide forward, and then it cinches as you come to stack the hips. That top oblique is working to pull the hips back, hugging in on the abdominal organs. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Holding back, start to lift up through the foot, internally rotating through the hip, and then tap it down. So I know I'm cueing through the foot, but I really want you to think this motion is coming from deep in the hip, working the hip internal rotators to internally rotate, and naturally the knee and the ankle and the foot follow that motion. And nothing else is changing. We're not sinking down through the bottom side waist, which is what wants to happen, or crunching up through the top side waist. This is purely isolated to the hip. All right, maybe you find that reach of the top arm. You're still reaching long through bottom leg. Just two more here. Reaching up and down. Last one. Finding that parallel lift with the floor. Top arm reaches overhead, and then you reach towards the bottom leg, lifting up into your side bend. Okay, we lower down, and we exhale, lift. Amazing. Making sure those front ribs are in. We're finding that contraction through the top side waist, and that reach out long below you. Amazing. Let's do four more here. Maybe you can lift up 1 inch higher for me, increasing that side bend. Belt is hugging in for 2. Amazing. Last one. And reaching nice and long. Awesome work.